right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. This is going to be a fun one. I'm John, and of course, over here is the indomitable, the amazing, the incredible, the sitting on the other side of the room, Jackie.
Thank you. You could go on forever.
I have been accused.
That is
Probably
true.
quite a bit. But today is going to be a lot of fun. We're talking about our fun, our favorite little four-legged furry friends. Capturing them in art, having fun. And I'm actually working on a painting of my guide dog Eagle, and it's going to be for kind of a mural. It's for outdoor art, but I'll talk about that in a minute. We actually have some art to share from some people that have watched the stream and that have shared.
Their pet portraits, which I love.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I was so excited whenever Jackie said we've got some pet portraits to look at. So I thought, oh man, that's awesome. I love to paint cats and dogs. I just love to. It's funny, like whenever you paint a person, if you, I've had this happen where like you can paint somebody that's angry, but someone can look at that and most people may think it's angry, but there's a good percentage of people that might think, oh, they're just laughing really hard, or they're sad, or sometimes it's hard to know what the feelings are. But I've never had that happen with a cat or a dog portrait. If it's a happy dog, everybody says, "Oh, happy dog." If it's an angry cat, everybody sees angry cat. So I think it's. So when it comes to art, sometimes when you want to express emotion to another human being, can't say our names, but sometimes when you're doing that, the best way to do is to use a dog or a cat.
Yeah, I think it's funny how it doesn't matter. There is always like a personality in their face.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
you can
Yeah.
always tell.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. And I love, I don't know, I love cat and dog paintings from different people. But for me, like I love to paint cats and dogs. It's a good reason to actually get to meet different dogs and cats. But like I was just saying, it's a way to demonstrate emotion and stuff. Like did a mural at LSA. It's a hamburger place here in Denton last year, and I wanted to give the impression that I feel when I'm in front of a hamburger. And the easiest way to do that was to have this pug that was just so excited. There's a hamburger on the table. Then his face is coming up next to it. He was like, ah. And that's kind of the way I feel.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. That was fun.
But if you put a person, suddenly
That's
you've got all
awkward.
this judgment. You got like, oh, I don't like their hairdo, or this or that, or I don't know, like, I don't
Well,
know
and a
if
pug, you can't deny a pug. They're just adorable in their own weird way.
yeah, they're definitely so ugly they're cute, kind
They're
of.
so-
And this is yeah. So we have a lot of paintings that we want to show. Well, not a lot, but we have some paintings of some pet portraits I did, and I want to give some different ideas on how to do pet portraits on just a little bit, like different. Like we're not going to do like a how to, like an instruction paint step by step tonight with all that. We just want to talk about the generalities and just have some fun looking at some different pet portraits. But
Yeah, and if anybody out there has any tips or tricks to doing their own pet portraits, share with the crowd.
That's true. That's true. That's so great for you to say that. And today, just to, because we're all friends on here. We all chat and we all talk, and and we have this thing tonight, and about the pets, and we're having a little trouble with Echo. She's my first
Mm.
guide dog, and her health. She's really old. She's my first guide dog, and she's been retired for how long now? 2 years?
Oh,
3?
at least, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
three
yeah,
probably.
and so she's been retired like as long as I've had Eagle, Echo's been retired, but her health is really going down. And this morning was the first morning she didn't really want to eat breakfast. She ended up eating later, but last night she was in the hallway.
She couldn't get up. It
Yeah,
was
she couldn't.
terrible.
Oh gosh, and it
Ugh.
was just so
Not cool, man.
no, it's not cool, but but I wanted to mention it because we share our lives with our pet friends. We share our homes, we share our lives, and they're part of the family. They become part of our family, and and it's an extremely important part of our family, and and that's why I think it's so enjoyable to be able to paint them, to be able to depict them. I know like with Echo, I have quite a few paintings of her, and they changed over the years because you live with them and your emotions change and your feelings change, and it's kind of interesting to be able to go back through the years of paintings and see that. So I don't know, it's incredible. It's hurts so much whenever you lose one, and she's still with us and everything, but I mean, and so,
Yeah.
but they give so much, you know.
Well, I want to say really quick. Some people have joined us. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, thank you.
Ron Captain says hi, guys.
Hey, Ron.
Hey. Kylie Sykes joined us. Says good evening, guys. Great topic. And Christy Harkins says, good evening, guys. I can't stay on here long tonight, but I wanted to stop by and say hi. I have a pug that is 10 shades of crazy.
I like that. That'd be a good name for a pug painting, wouldn't it? Hey, I'm going to throw the chat up just for a second,
Okay.
just so you can tell me if it's actually working. I like that 10 shades of crazy.
Yeah, I see it.
Is it actually work? Because I have a button, but it doesn't tell me if it's if it's doing anything.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
So it's actually like doing the chat?
Um,
Well, that's cool. We're not going to use that tonight, guys. But I wanted to. You can't test it unless you're actually streaming live. So maybe like for a thing when we're doing like a show, or if you want to see it, let us know and we'll throw it up. But some nights we might just be doing like a painting, like a workshop, and maybe having the chat up there so everybody can see, what other people are saying.
yeah.
Right there on the screen might be helpful, but I just wanted to see if it actually worked. Because if it doesn't, then we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll do the workshop.
It
but we won't
appears
do
to
the
be
thing.
working to me, and I can see it on the feed on the computer, so it looks good.
Hey, that sounds good.
Um,
Options, guys.
So Janice Keene says, I love the dog pictures. I bought 3. Thank you.
Oh,
That's
thank
awesome.
you so much.
And Tiffany Mary joined us, says good evening.
Dog lovers.
And
That's awesome.
Christy said, oh, I'm sorry to hear Echo is struggling. It's so tough when they aren't at their best.
Oh, my
Yes.
goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. And Anna has joined us and says, no wine today. Oh, there's wine. There's wine.
Well, I'm having water, but it does have an orange flavoring to it, so
Oh, it's fancy. Don't get crazy on me.
it's a nice bouquet.
And Barbara Brands has joined us and says, howdy.
Hey, Barbara. Oh, Barbara, I'm so sorry you Facebooked me, and I just saw that, and I'm so sorry. I've been the social media, and so I haven't read it, but I saw that you Facebooked me, like I got the thing, and yeah, the thing with Echo and everything has just been, I don't know.
I know she started at 5 in the morning trying to get up, and she's such a big dog. That's kind of like the other heartbreaking aspect of it is she's such a big dog that that the weight of her is on her legs is just she's not. It's just hard, and
Yeah.
we were both up all night just trying to you couldn't go back to sleep after that scenario.
And she's such an awesome dog. I mean, she's a guide dog, but she's in the Animal Hall of Fame for Texas. She was the first guide dog, supposedly, like that's what we're told in America, is one of the reasons she's in the Animal Hall of Fame, to learn the difference, like the different finds, like they'd be able to find like the difference between a bathroom and the girls' bathroom and the ladies' bathroom. It's training they were doing in England, and then they brought it over, and her litter was the first litter they were trying over here, and she was the first dog out of that litter, and the amount of miles that she traveled, her vet said no wonder her hips are hurting, because I mean she flew most of the miles, but it was like going to the moon and back to the moon and like part way back again. It was just
and she walked she was with you more than I have ever been with you. So
Yeah.
she went everywhere. She was your shadow. She walked and so
that's just think of all the states that she's walked in. New York, I mean I won't name them, but a bunch.
Yeah.
Let's just go with a bunch. So anyway, I won't go off on that too much more, guys. Later probably,
Janice Keene says, I'm sorry to hear about Echo.
Oh, well, thank you.
And Anna says, yeah, tears. And Maureen Clark has joined us, says, I have a pug too. I bought the bugged pug print. Love it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
That's brilliant.
One of my favorites.
Oh my goodness. Well, I thought maybe I would show you really quick about the painting I'm going to work on tonight. This is Eagle. It's Echo's best friend. She's my current guide dog, and she is a sweetheart. She is just the sweetest dog. So is Echo. Echo and Eagle are both incredibly sweet dogs. Eagle is probably more demonstrative, wouldn't you say? Like,
oh yeah.
She just wants. Echo will love you, but she's like, "Hey, cheers, mate." I
Yeah,
love you. Like from afar.
she's her own dog.
Yeah. Where Eagle's like, "I love you, and I just want to get in your
Yeah.
lap. I just want to give you hugs." So
What can I do? What can I do to help you?
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I have her. I have her up here. And what this is going to be is it's for some outdoor art for the Texas Rail, if they like it and everything. So I'm doing this mock-up for them. So they haven't seen it yet, unless they're tuning in tonight. Then, surprise! So I have that, but down here though, I have a little puppy. So this is sort of the generations. We had Echo, and then we had Eagle, and then here's like the new puppy. And down here is going to be a harness that the puppy is too big for the puppy. So like Eagle's going to be wearing her harness. And this puppy has an adult size harness that is going to be almost in.
I'm curious, because I didn't ask you this previously. What color are you going to do the puppy?
Also going to be a yellow lab.
Okay,
but
cool.
A little bit different shades.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna. I know I was wondering about that because I thought, but I want to do two yellow labs, and one reason for that is because I'm thinking about making the background blue. So for this outdoor art project, there's going to be like 6 different paintings, and I want to hook them together a little bit. And so, I mean, I could make her a black lab. I just thought, maybe I don't know. Right now it's going to be a yellow lab.
Yeah, I was like, I could. It might contrast the yellow lab well if it was a darker dog, but I don't know.
I know. I wondered about that, and I thought that how I might be able to get around that is by using oranges and pinks and some different colors, maybe some greens, and just making some different colors with it. And that way, it's almost like, and one thought about that too was like it could almost be the same dog in 2 different, like this could be the baby, like when it was young and then it was grown into this, or it could be two different, guide dogs. So it was just however the viewer wanted to look at it. It's like this is the puppy in training, and then boom.
Okay.
But the background is going to be blue, is what I'm thinking right now, and that's because some of the other paintings are going to have blue backgrounds, and then there's going to be some little dandelion fluff a little bit flying around, and maybe like a butterfly.
Yeah, that's going to be nice.
And that's because in some of the other, and actually, I know this looks kind of weird the way that this is done over here, but that's because there's another painting back here, and I didn't want it to. So here, let me show you guys. This is the one. There's going to be dandelion fluff. So let me see. Is this?
Okay. Yeah.
Can you
You
see
can
it
see
like that, darling?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So I don't know if you can see. I'm going to hold this up. There's some butterflies up there. There's going to be a little girl. This will be the side of the painting over here. She's holding a giant dandelion, and she's going to be blowing it. And then the dandelions are going to be swirling around, and there's butterflies up there. And then in some of the other paintings, there's going to be a little bit of the dandelion fluff going around. And one of the ideas with the painting too, with the girl, is that her head's on the side, so it's a side view, is that it could be a little bit immersive. So that if a person wanted to stand in front of the artwork, at the right distance, then they could look like they're blowing the dandelion. So.
Yeah, the goal with this project, the goal with this project was that there would be some mechanism to promote like a hashtag, like hashtag TexRail, and so people could get in and pose like they're in the painting a bit, and then hashtag. So that's part of the whole piece of art that's going up this TexRail.
Yeah, and there's going to be 6 paintings going along. So I thought the girl with the dandelion could be on the far right, because she's looking towards the left, and as she's blowing the dandelions, the little seeds are going, and then they might not quite make it to the 6th painting. I don't know, but it'll connect them, and it'll be a little fun. It'll make it seem more like one installment, because in that, like, I have a horse that's got a really silly face, and I have an elephant with butterflies, and going to be in there.
Yeah, the elephant's like yanking a flower from the side of the painting, so so it looks like you can play tug of war with the elephant, so it's a pretty cute one.
Yeah. So like if you get next to the painting, you can hold. It's like her. So that's it's fun. It's fun. But anyway, that's what I'm going to be working on while we're painting. While we're talking, I'm going to be painting while we're talking.
Well, Janice Keene says, I'm sorry to hear about Echo. My mom has joined us and says, hi, guys.
Oh, hey.
And Aaron Shock has joined us and says, hearts for Echo. So,
well,
um,
thank you guys so much.
and-
That means a lot.
and Kevin Donnelly's joined us and says, continue your incredible work.
Oh, thank you, Kevin.
So, and Barbara Brands said that's sad. She's a good girl about Echo. So,
Oh,
yeah, I mean, I don't, I don't know what to do, but who does? So,
bless your heart, sweetheart. I know, and I know it's I think it's like one of those things too that it'll hit you more later. I mean, like with a guide dog, like with Echo and Eagle, like they're there all the time. Like they're like with a guide dog, they're like a shadow. They've always been with a person, and they'll follow you around the house. So they're always constantly there. So I'm looking for some paint. So whenever she's not there, I think it'll be it's just gonna be.
It is going to be weird. I worry about how Chip's going to do, because Chip's our beagle, who is not guide dog trained at all. She's a little nuts. She's sweet, but she's crazy when she thinks anything is in the house that's not normal. Like, she doesn't like change. She's kind of stubborn. So other dogs freak her out, all this stuff. So whenever we leave, Eagle goes with us always, everywhere, to guide John. And so we've always been able to leave Chip and Echo at the house together. And so I worry about Chip kind of going a little bonkers being at the house by herself, because
Yeah.
I don't know, she's all right in the head.
Yeah, she's definitely the kind of dog where if you bring in a cardboard box, she's like box, new box.
Yeah.
Who put that box in?
Yeah,
there?
she got out once, and she was running down the street, and we were chasing her, and the only way I caught her was because a tree that had been chopped off and a stump was out of the ground freaked her out enough that she just started barking at it, and it was like, and I grabbed her. But
it's so weird to have a dog that will run out the door. She just gets so excited. I haven't had a dog like that since I was a little kid. I mean, every dog I've had has been more trainable, but she's really good in the house. You can, she'll sit, she'll lay, she'll come right to you, she'll stop barking, she'll do whatever if you just have to talk to her, and she's great. But she gets excited, and when she gets excited, she can't hear anything. Like her hound dog instincts go explode.
Yeah, and she's, the backyard is her terrain. She's got to watch for everything.
Hey,
kill possums, all that fun stuff. I want to say Michael is my mom's friend Mike has joined us and says, what was the name of the small dog you had back in college?
Anne.
Anne was, yes.
Hey,
back in
it's
the
good.
day.
It's good. It's good to hear you. By the way,
It's nice to see you on a live stream, and hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, I didn't realize what all had happened until it was just. I'm always
Mom's Day.
I know I'm always the worst. I always hear things last, or I'm horrible with social media. Like, I miss all the important stuff. I just get to hear if somebody had a great bagel or something.
The food looked good.
But if something important happens, I almost always miss it. But yeah, I hope you're feeling better. I'm gonna. So with this painting, I usually use two hands to paint with, but it's gonna pull me away from the mic, so I'm just gonna paint a little slower. I'm gonna use one hand to touch with.
You're getting crazy over there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm still blocking in color, so I'm actually going to do some finger painting too with it, which is a little different.
That's very different.
Well, when I'm blocking stuff in, sometimes I'll use it to diffuse the paint. That way I know it's not a hard line, because it can't be, because I've rubbed it.
Yeah.
So just stuff like that. So if you see me using one hand, I'm using my fingers on one hand, but I'm using this thin paint. But that way maybe I don't pull away from the microphone too much, because that gets irritating, Hey, we have some art to show.
Yeah, we can go over that, and I got some weird, wacky pet facts to share.
All right.
Dun dun dun.
I'll hold it. Sorry,
Okay, cool. So earlier today, we posted that we were doing the show, and anybody that shared art. Or wanted to share art could do that, and then we have some people on the Jurassic Art members thing that do pet portraits. But this I thought was super cool. This is done by Maureen Clark, who's joined us, and they are pet portraits on rocks.
Thank you
And
for sharing this, Maureen. That's so cool.
yeah, they're super. They're like almost hyper realistic. I'm kind of curious how large those rocks are, because I can't imagine trying to paint something so realistic on like anything smaller than like 5 by 5. That seems crazy.
Man, and on rocks, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
That sounds hard.
Yeah, there's another artist out there that paints on rocks that I'll follow on Facebook. His name's Ian's Rocks, and he does like celebrities in this style, like very realistic. But
that's cool.
It's funny that you mentioned about the personalities earlier. This made me think of it. I was like, I could see all the personalities of those pets, and I love it.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, I'm gonna back it up really quick because I accidentally hit the wrong key on something. Is that like
That's the logo.
damn show? Okay. Okay, cool.
So Maureen says thanks, and they are about 6 to 8 inches. So that's still
so they
small
are
for
small.
realistic
Wow.
painting. That's amazing.
Yeah, you must use tiny brushes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, so this is done by my mom, Marilyn. And
who's also on the chat.
Yes, and this is actually a portrait of my brother's boxer named Hank. And
I can only imagine what
this dog is so goofy. Goofy. And, adorable, sweet, might have been dropped on its head when it was little, I'm not sure. Goofy. And when it looks at you, its ears are like way back in its head, so it almost looks like it has no ears when it's looking at you. It's so cute. And of course, it's got the overbite, which is adorable, but and very jealous. The dog has to have all the attention in the room, even though they have 3 other dogs. But yeah. Oh, Maureen says super tiny. That's her brush size. Super tiny.
Oh boy, I bet.
So my mom does pet portraits too for people all the time. So that's a lot of fun to see her working on those.
That's so cool. I wonder how big this painting of Hank is.
I think it was like an 18 by 24. I don't know. She can correct me if I'm wrong. It's like 16 by 20 or 18 by 24. I think it's hanging in their hallway in their bar room.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
You can go to okay. This was sent over by Cindy Lang. This is some of her friends' pets that she painted, and it's like a long hair schnauzer and I don't know what that breed is.
What does it look like?
It's black. It's it's like little, reminds me like of England. Should be wearing like a detective jacket. What's the breed?
Schnauzer?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, that's super cute. I love it. Love it. So those were the people that were sharing, because also for anybody that isn't already we have another Facebook group called Drastic Art Members, and like this week we were going back and forth with sharing the different other people's different portraits, pet portraits and stuff, and John's portraits through the years and stuff like that. So yeah, that's fun. I'd love for anybody to submit more. Those are always fun to look at.
Yeah, that is so cool. Man, and yeah, and if anybody wants to put a link up, if you're taking commissions for pet portraits and
for sure. Yeah, share that link. We can post it as well.
Yeah, and this our videos they'll live on Facebook forever, as long as there's Facebook, and then we also post them on YouTube. So
yeah,
it's kind of nice with a video, if you could have a link on it, because then it's just there for
Yeah, and I try, like on the YouTube one, I'll go back and in the description I'll add all the links that we talked about or whatever, so I can always add those as well. So Tiffany Marie says that is darling.
Awesome. What?
So what else you got over there?
Oh, well,
do you want to go on to the next thing?
We sure can.
I forget what's in the... Okay. So part of what we were going to talk about today was just pet portrait, while John paints. Pet portraits through the years.
You want to make sure I get my work in?
Yes.
Wow.
But we can go through this fast, because I know like these images take up the screen when people are wanting to watch you paint. But regardless.
Oh, here. Okay. I can take me away too.
So I just Googled, I wanted to find out kind of like the history of pet portraits through art, and found some interesting facts. The oldest paintings of animals discovered so far are around 19,000 old.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, they were found in the caves of Lascaux, southern France.
Oh yeah, wow. I know those cave paintings, but generally what you see or what you hear about are like of like other animals, like the animals they hunt and stuff. I
Well,
didn't
this
realize.
this is the oldest paintings of animals, so it could have been that because this is me backing up to like just you seeing animals in paintings.
That's
Period.
cool.
Yeah, so there was depictions of all types of animals and stuff. But the earliest artwork featuring domesticated animals came from Babylonia about 5,500 years ago in 3,500 BC. So they were of like goats and horses. So those were like the first time you're seeing domesticated animals. And then of course like the first time you're really seeing pets and as domesticated animals was in ancient Egypt with all the royalty, which is what everybody's seeing right now. This is an Egyptian limestone relief, and it is from 5th century BC. So, and it has a depiction. It actually has a depiction of their dogs, and a lot of times like the cats and dogs were gods and all that sort of stuff. But they were the pets, and I believe royalty was the only ones that were allowed to own the cats.
Wow.
And you remember that fact that we learned at your parents the other day, where if their cats died, they paid homage by shaving their eyebrows? That's weird. Which actually was kind of funny. Are you about to say it?
Well, yeah, because when they said that, what was it? A game we were playing?
No. Okay, so if you have Alexis in your house, you can do this. And his mom did this when we were all hanging out, and she said, "Alexis, tell me a fact, or tell me, or no. Alexis, ask me my question of the day." And the question of the day was how when a pet dies in Egyptian times, what did the people do? And it was like they. I think they like buried a spoon. They did some, mummified the cat, and then they shaved their eyebrows, and we were like, what? And she actually guessed shave their eyebrows, and so that was the right answer. But then they explained the answer, and right after that, we all laughed because she thought they shaved the cat's eyebrows, not the people's eyebrows. So we just
see this cat
died because
like a black cat with two little. So it looked like the cat was just eternally surprised all the time.
Eternally surprised. Anyway, hilarious. So if you have Alexa, you can ask it a question of the day, and then if you get it right, you get bonus question. Anyway, off topic.
Or even if you get it wrong, but you get it wrong in the right way.
Yeah.
You can
there
still
you
get
go.
points.
Anyway, you can go on. So this is like a little bit later, around 800 BC. The Greeks demonstrated their fondness for dogs in thousands of sculptures, mosaics. You'd see it on pottery and all that fun stuff. This is Cave Canem, which means beware of dog. So this was like a mosaic that they'd find in front of a house. So again, it's their pet dog that's guarding the house. That was a big thing back then for them.
That's cool. Yeah, I've heard of this before.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's a famous one from back in the day.
That's cool.
And then next we get a little bit later into the Middle Ages, and this is like dogs were used for hunting, but the noble women used dogs for pets. Had dogs for pets more often than obviously hunting. But anyway, so this is, I think this was circa like 16th century is this one. But I mean, there's no shortage of these old-timey paintings with, I mean, there was like ferrets. I think, what was it, Queen Elizabeth, a famous portrait of her she's depicted with like a ferret or what looks like a rat or something, I forget. But and then there's monkeys and rabbits and all sorts of stuff. So it was a kind of interesting rabbit hole, literally, I could go down to find all sorts of images. But
well, thank you for doing this. That's really cool.
That's barely touching the surface, but I thought that was interesting.
Man, that's awesome. I feel like if I got a call from Alex Trebek saying, "Hey, you want to be a contestant?" I'd be like, "All right, I'm ready. I'm ready at least for one category."
Let me Google it really fast.
Yeah, I'm at least ready for the animal history category. Potent Potables, animal history. Alex?
So I should say, let's see, Janelle Ellis has joined us and says, "I love following your work." Thank you. And Barb Dorrington has joined us and says, I love this woman's work. She is from England, but her work for cats is amazing. Look up Michelle Matson on Facebook. So, Michelle Matson. I will look it up and I will include a link later on.
Thank you for sharing. That's cool.
And then she's got a link in the chat for an example of Michelle's work. So, and Barb, in fact, we were going to show this painting in a minute. Barb owns the cat and fishbowl painting.
Oh.
So, and she's the one that has the 3-legged cat that she works out with, which is hilarious. So, cool. Anyway.
Well, that's awesome.
I
feel like I learned something. I don't know if I feel like I will remember it. I forget half of everything I learned. So but
no worries.
But that's really cool. My favorite part still though is shaving the eyebrows of cats.
So funny. I know when I ran across that in the article, I had to laugh because I was like, hey, how often do you? I mean, literally, we just talked about that like a week ago.
How often does that come up in conversation?
All of a sudden, it's everywhere.
Well, hey, if you want to talk about shaving cats, boy, have I got a story for you.
It'd be cruel, but a hilarious sort of internet thing was just shaving expressions on cats.
That's true. Maybe a cat that was just too uppity, like it needed to come down a notch.
Bring him down
too full of itself.
Our level.
Yeah. The cat would never forgive you.
No.
Although I used to have some Persians before I found out that I was allergic to cats, but sweet cats, and in the summer though I would have them shaved, and they loved it. Oh my goodness! And I had an orange Persian, and he would have his body shaved, and he had like a little lion because he had like a big mane then. But they were so much cooler. You know, they lived inside in the air conditioning, but still, it was just. They just felt so much cooler. They would just romp around for days and days and days and just play, just constantly. It was so cute.
So when you shaved the cat, you could tell that it was happy?
Oh yeah, it was really happy. It didn't mind. I guess I don't know if it was because of their Persians or what, but they didn't. They didn't mind being shaved. Like they weren't. It wasn't like most of the cats I've ever had. They were like short haired, where they're like, what? Like no. You could bathe them. You could.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, like I would hold their neck, but it wasn't like I had a death grip on them or anything.
Interesting.
But because it was all. If they didn't like it, I wouldn't have done it. But it made them so happy. And we live in Texas, and the summers get really. And I lived in East Texas, and it was really hot and humid, and they just would play like crazy. They just had so much fun.
Yeah. Well, Barbara says, I sure do love the cat looking through the fishbowl. It sits in a place of glory. And then said, good memory. That was a few years back. Do you remember where all your paintings go?
It's funny because whenever someone like buys a painting of mine, I mean, I know this. I don't know if this sounds hokey or whatever, but it really makes a connection. And every time I work on a painting, it's all I think about. I try to put as much as I can into it, and when somebody connects with it, and they want it, I don't know that there's like a connection there. I cared enough about it to make it and really try to make it as well as I could, and then somebody cares enough to want to live with it, to put it in their home. It makes a connection, and Jackie tries to keep track of names and stuff, and there's quite a few of people who have bought paintings. We have.
Yeah.
There's quite a few that we don't, because sometimes the gallery shows they don't get the information, or they don't think about it, or
way back in the day, but we put a stop to that because I don't like. Yeah, I mean, I keep a database of everybody that buys a painting for, just it's obviously good to keep for catalog reasons and all that fun stuff. But and also whenever somebody owns a painting, we try to stay in contact, and we'll send out. We try to send out Christmas cards and, whatever, just depending on, a lot of times the addresses, we find out quickly, like, what addresses have expired, like, if people have moved, but,
yeah, and we like to try to, we can't always do this, but if we can, sometimes we'll send out, like, Christmas cards or gifts or small gifts, just something like, so you never know. I mean,
So, yeah, I try to...
And I'm not promising anybody. I'm not promising anybody anything. But it's just if we can, like, especially if something comes up about the painting, kind of like Jackie was trying to get the wine together for some people that had bought paintings that had been turned into wine labels. So you send them a bottle,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we don't sell wine. We don't, can't do all that. But it's legal to give it away. You just
Yes.
can't sell it. So so little things like that. But hey, should we look at a picture of Echo?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's what's next.
Oh no, hey, what we were talking about. This is Cat and Fishbowl.
Oh, cool, cool,
So
cool.
you wanted to talk, and the reason why we're showing these next two paintings, was because you wanted to talk about how it doesn't have to be a typical pet portrait.
Yes, yes, and like which I'm about to show, like in kind of what I'm working on right now with Eagle here. It's more of a typical kind of portrait. It's almost like all right, pose, smile. And the portraits I'm going to show of Echo are kind of the same way for the most part. But a pet portrait doesn't have to be like that. It could be like the cat doing something, or the dog doing something that's fun or it's interesting, But the cats and the dogs that I paint, they're cats that I actually knew, or dogs that I knew. I typically, 99% of the time, I try to paint actual cats and dogs that I know. So if they're or have met, or have felt their faces and stuff. So it just means more. So you can do a portrait, but it could be like a cat, like I've done cats sitting on library shelves, or looking out windows, or um, looking at birds, or just different sorts of things. So but you can kind of mix it up, and that's what we have here as well.
You
Which
probably want to get rid of us. Yeah.
bias.
So yeah, this was a commission you finished a couple weeks ago, and
Yeah,
this
and
was an interesting one.
it's a really large painting. So I'm not sure how digital photo shows it, 'cause it's a really big painting, but it actually has four cats that the couple had, and there's two dogs in there that the couple had, and so it's a different way of doing a portrait, and where it doesn't have to necessarily just be a portrait, but you can include the real animals.
Yeah, yeah, and this was a fun one because they sent you the pictures, and you were able to use the software to, like, feel around how the animals looked, and then at some point I did kind of like like help you a little bit, because there were some very particular, like, especially with one of the cats that had like this pattern on its nose.
Yeah.
So I would be like, you could add a little bit of black here or whatever, but
Yeah, the software is good, but he's like, yeah, they it's almost easier for me with dogs a little bit, because like, if you know a certain breed, you can kind of paint that breed and then just sort of make it different. But for some cats, though, it's hard, especially if they're modeled. You have a modeling. The software is not so great at telling me where it's modeled.
yeah. Well, Stephanie Schneider has joined us and says, "I love your art."
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Thanks for joining.
Here, let me show you.
Okay.
So this is Echo, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so this is an oil painting that I did of Echo, and this is back when I still did oil painting. I'm an acrylic guy now. I'm painting acrylics, and
this is pre-blending too.
Yeah, this is that's how long I've had Echo, and so I couldn't blend. I couldn't blend colors at this point, or do really like shading. So, and this is when I first met Echo. So, I really liked her. She's a quiet dog. She's kind of stoic a little bit, and we hadn't really traveled anywhere. I think, like, normally when I got her, the rule was like, you weren't supposed to like really fly with your guide dog for like 6 months or a year or something. But I think within the first 3 months, we had to go. I had some work to do at the Metropolitan in New York, and so we were
we
were flying really quick. I mean, the guide dog school gave the approval and everything, but we were flying quick. And it just went up from there. We just started going all over the place. But this, though, I was just getting to know her, and I mentioned that because every year I would do more paintings of her. So this is like a painting that I probably had her for maybe 2 years, 3 years. We'd done more traveling.
You said you did this in watercolor, right?
Either watercolor or acrylics.
Okay, I'm almost positive this was during your watercolor phase.
Okay.
It looks watercolor.
Okay, cool. But there's more color. Like, it's getting a little bit different. I've been painting for 2 or 3 more years, so I'm starting to be able to get into blending and a little bit more. A little bit more control of color and that kind of stuff.
Well, on the last paint, I want to say really fast, Tiffany Mary, on the first Echo painting, she said, love, love, love that.
Oh, thank you.
Maureen Clark said, absolutely love that painting of Echo on that first one that you posted. And then also,
Well, thank you guys.
yeah, Barbara
Thank
Rand
you.
said that's awesome and so nice color use.
Oh, well, thank you guys so much. This is another really early one, and I was starting to try to learn how to blend, and I was using a lot more colors, but everything was still more very dabby. But
Yes.
we had traveled more together and stuff, and I think this painting might actually have happened before the one I just showed you. So in the chronology, this might be the second one.
Yeah,
Maybe it's hard to
maybe.
say because, well, yeah, it definitely is coming thing. I think because I think this one is oil as well, and I didn't start doing watercolor until Jack.
I don't, after this, because I'm neurotic, I'll go into my files and I'll look at the modified date.
There you go.
And then we can figure out. Because I know at some point, and this was long-term plan I wanted to do, was get the entire collection of what your Echo paintings and do like the chronological sequence of them, like going down the hall or
You
something.
can see her
So
get older, and
yeah,
my
yeah.
painting
Well,
changed.
and your style changing over the years because she's been there the whole time, which is
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So
Isn't that crazy? And well, I used a cane for 7 or 8 years before I got Echo.
right, right.
But yeah,
But like a giant chunk of your painting,
yeah, well,
period.
so I used the cane for 6 years, I guess, before I got it, 6 or 7 before I got
Yeah,
Echo painting. But yeah, isn't that weird?
I
Gosh,
know. It is weird.
time flies. Um,
When you're having fun.
and then this is another one, but I forget which.
This is Echo at the Meadows. So
Oh, okay, okay.
this one, because this one's so similar to the last one, I remember when we were naming this, you painted this at the Meadows, like part of, or you were finishing it up at the Meadows as part of a workshop. I forget.
Yeah, I did some light painting there, and I can't remember. I've done so many different things with the Meadows Museum. But yes, it was definitely
But
with that
yes,
museum, and I love the Meadows,
yeah.
um, and Echo became so. I mean, like at the Dallas Museum of Art, we went there so much with Echo that she was actually put on their page, like the Dallas Museum of Art had like an Echo thing, and the guards and stuff. Like whenever I would walk in, 'cause when I would do workshops and stuff, the guards didn't remember me. And most of the time, when you go
Oh
into a
yeah.
museum like that, you're not supposed to bring artwork or anything, like like any paintings, because the idea is that like you might bring one of your paintings in, and then you walk out with a Van Gogh or something, And but the guards didn't really care. I mean, they knew Echo. They're like, oh, Echo, like and they get so excited, and
Yeah.
so they loved Echo there. But he's a sweetheart.
So this is Little Echo.
Oh, because whenever you get a guide dog, they're about 2.5 years old. So you don't get to know them as puppies. But this is what I thought Echo would be like as a puppy, because
She get a
she
bit serious.
yeah, and she's serious, but she wouldn't hurt a fly or a butterfly, and she's just so sweet. But she's always been stoic, being able to talk to people at the guide dog school. She's always been very quiet, sit there, very confident, and
See,
extremely sweet.
and what's funny is like I imagined almost like taking this and this coloration and doing that on the painting you're doing now,
Oh
like for
yeah,
the little puppy.
that might be not.
I
Yeah,
don't know, like because it's an ode to Echo thing, but I don't, it might not work
yeah.
out in the end. But
Mm.
I love the purples and the blues that make the black.
I love that idea. Gosh, but I know pretty soon I'm gonna be doing another Echo painting. Oh,
Well,
ugh.
yeah.
Well, I just want to think about.
Speaking of the next painting.
Oh,
Oh, this is Happy Echo. Okay, this is Happy Echo. So
oh,
this I can't remember if I guess this isn't watercolor. That wasn't watercolor or anything, but um yeah, this is kind of a silly one. What's funny about this one now that I'm looking at it
hmm
is that for some reason like 2 or 3 and I don't know if this is how I don't know how this works, but like 2 or 3 years ago, I noticed like a little black spot on Echo's tongue on the bottom left,
uh-huh.
and I don't think she had that ever until about maybe 3 years ago.
Oh,
And so it almost looks kind of like a birthmark. And then over the last 3 years, as she's aged, the mark has gotten bigger and it's spread over her tongue a tiny bit. It just looks like a birthmark of some sort. And So it's funny that I just realized that you have this painting of her and she doesn't have that mark on her tongue.
She doesn't or does?
She doesn't have it on her tongue.
I thought maybe I did or something. I was gonna say,
No, because
Oscar Wilde was right. Art does imitate life instead of the other way around.
Well, Stephanie said lovely, and Michael says little Echo is so cute.
Oh, thank you guys.
And my mom said it was always fun doing your workshops at the Meadows. Love the paintings of Echo.
Oh, it was always so much fun whenever you would come to the workshops, Marilyn. That was always a blast. You're always so great, coming and doing that and getting in the mix of it all.
Hands-on.
Yeah, getting all messy and.
Well, she was there from the beginning. She went to Shreveport with us for Art Break and contributed to the 1,500 plus kids that we blindfolded that weekend.
Yeah,
crazy.
those are some shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Okay, so this is the Last Echo. This painting is called The Last Echo.
Oh.
And this you painted on YouTube probably like 2 years ago. Kelly Petit owns this painting, and I want to say, I can't remember if this was part of like a YouTube fundraiser that we were doing. I can't remember, but for the guide dog school. But anyway, I love this painting. I love this painting because it's like she's laying down. She's got her head on a pillow. We actually got her posed for the picture and took a picture of it, and then you painted it. And I think you did it on YouTube. But
oh man,
and it was called The Last Echo because we weren't sure if you were going to paint her again.
Yeah, and I haven't. I don't think that's it. I think, isn't it? Is that it?
That's it. That's all the echoes. So until you paint another.
Yeah. So that was, I almost feel like a band where a band says, "Oh, this is our last tour ever. We're never touring until we do it again."
Until we do the Toadies. Don't get me started.
but I really haven't done another echo paint, but I want to do another because I haven't done one in a while now, and we're coming to the end of the echo era, and so I want to do something that it's going to be a hard one though. I mean, to be honest, like one of the things about painting is that you do something that's meaningful to you. And I remember when I was a kid, I had a friend named Terry that was my best friend in the hospitals and stuff, and he passed away when we were both 13, and I wanted to do a painting of him forever, and I just couldn't do it because it was just, I felt so sad. I was just, I felt like, he had missed all this, and and you get tucked in like on a certain mindset, like in a rut where I was fixated on everything that he had lost, everything that he didn't get to experience and do. And then finally one day I came to the realization that he was one of the happiest, one of the funniest people that I'd ever met. And he, he'd be like the kid in the hospital where you're like, hey, do you want to play a game? And he would say like, no, like Sarah or somebody down the way, or she's having an operation tomorrow. We should go visit her and play a game. And it's this 13-year-old kid or 12-year-old kid or 11. We knew him for a while, and he just the way he was. He was just happy he'd been in his wheelchair. We'd roll down, and so I couldn't paint him until I realized you got to think about the way that people are, the way that things are, and that's the way he was. So whenever I thought about that, I was able to do a painting like in hours of him. Like I couldn't do it for years, and then finally with that change, I thought, this is a painting of the way he was, of celebrating him. With Echo, it's kind of the same thing. I think it's just that, like, gosh, she's just been a huge part of life. And when I think about doing a painting, I almost start to break out in a sweat because it's just like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, that'll probably be a hard one to get through. I don't know.
I'll have to definitely be in a mindset thinking about all the incredible things, all the lives that she touched, all the children and schools that she went into, and
yeah, it's funny with all like reviewing some of these paintings. Like you did her eyes. In fact, Stephanie said the expression of the eyes I like. She's had in almost all older dogs get that cloud of like cataracts in her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So I forgot like she had like really striking amber eyes.
Oh.
And because for the last probably like 3 years they've been very cloudy. She can see but not very well in the dark. So
so always leave lights on.
Yes.
What color are Eagle's eyes?
Eagles are brown. I
Isn't it? Yeah,
brownish.
that's,
Yeah.
I want to say that. So I'll have to
Yeah.
make sure and make them
Yeah.
brown.
I thought it was funny the picture you posted earlier of promoting the show tonight of Happy Eagle, and she's all tongue. She is all tongue.
Oh, that's nice. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, and you should do more portraits of Chip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you only have that one that is
Hmm.
Chip with Jack.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't know if you could get her to sit still long enough to
Oh,
feel her face again.
yeah. Maybe so. You know, yeah, and she's older now. Like she's like 2, 3. So get a mature beagle.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Well, so I'm gonna
You got a
turn back
lot
to.
of work to do.
I know. I got a ton of work to do. I don't know. It's like one of those times where you just get so happy just chatting. That's kind of what you get into, and
I think we should for this painting we should post like progress pics.
that's a good idea.
So, because I know this is probably as far as you're getting
Yeah,
tonight.
it probably is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so. I'm gonna be lazy tonight with it, guys. I guess, and no, I want to get it blocked in more, and but yeah, tonight I guess it's more of a chatty kind of night. We're talking about our dogs, and um, they hold such a special place in our heart. It's so interesting, and I've had quite a few people ask for pet portraits. Where I'll do portraits of their animals, and it's just incredible how much they're a part of our lives, they're a part of our family. And then so much so, I know my parents, they always had cats and dogs, and then they had 2 dogs, and they got older and they passed away, and they never had another pet because it just hurt so much, and which I can sure get. I can understand that, but I don't know. I get maybe I'm more I don't know what's the word, like selfish or something. I don't know, but I just get so much from having the pooches and the everything that I can't imagine not having one.
I know.
And of course, with having the guide dog, that's different. I mean, they work with you, and you're a team, and so I mean, you're kind of in the system. You know that one is getting older, you're getting another one, and I think having that little conveyor belt of getting a new dog is probably very helpful. Because um, having Eagle here, I think it helps with Echo a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it made Echo happier, and having a dog that's always with you. At least when Echo does pass, we're gonna make sure she's loved all the way up to the very last second, and we'll still have some pooches to pet here, so that'll be good. But anyway, I don't want to bring everything down, guys.
Well, I want to share something really fast. Barb
please.
Shared which I'm going to show it to my camera, but Barb shared
Do you want me to make your camera big, sweetie?
Sure. A picture of Lou, her cat, with the cat and fishbowl painting in the background, which I love.
Oh, really? And this is the 3-legged?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, really? What color?
White and like tan, like a light tan.
Maybe like a tanny orangey sort of?
Long-haired, yeah. Real cute.
Long-haired. Okay, I know it.
Doesn't like workouts at all.
Is it more of a doll face? I mean, like more of a regular looking cat. It's not like the peak face, like a Pekingese.
Right, it's a regular. Yes.
Because a peak can have a peak, or they can have a doll. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting with cats. It's the same way as like with dogs. Really, there's breeds, and I'm a huge nerd, so I love to read about the standards for them, and that's interesting. I don't know. Yeah. It helps me envision.
Well, Chelsea said my dog's name is Jack.
Oh, what a great name!
It is a good name. It's our son's name. So.
I should speaking of Jack, what you could probably see over there is Jack's little station next to Jackie.
Oh, gosh, man.
And then
I swear.
How far to the left can you see, like past the station? Can you see the rack of shame?
I mean the rack of shame. I mean I can.
Oh, you don't have to. I'm just wondering.
Like that's the rack of shame behind me.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's paintings that didn't turn out well.
Yeah,
so.
John's crazy paintings. But this is Jack's space right here. He's a hot mess, and I have to clean up talkie bags for days. I swear every time I have to come in here.
Oh my goodness, yeah,
it's awesome.
He gets that from his grandmother, his love of talkie. Yes. So he comes by it honestly.
Yes, yes. Let's see. And my mom said hilarious conveyor belt. That's funny. Stephanie said my dog's name is Kayla and Kyra, if I'm pronouncing that
Ooh.
right. They are pinchers. Oh, that's cute.
Oh my goodness. I had
Um,
an aunt that had a pinscher when growing up. The sweetest dog. And I was used to boxers. And boxers have that very flat face. So if a boxer comes up to you, like if a boxer went to a wall, their face would just meet it. It's just flat. So I was so used to that. And then my aunt got a pinscher, and the face was so much like a needle. I just couldn't get over it. Like how narrow a face could get like that. It was just
well, it's like Chip. Chip's got a nose that she likes to
it goes on for
stick in
days.
holes and stuff. And yes, it's crazy. Barb said Buff, referring to Lou the cat, her cat. I guess that.
Oh, the color, yeah.
Oh, but okay, there you go. And
Nice.
then so thanks for showing. And then Chelsea said, yeah, it's great. It's a great name. I met y'all at the Bayou Arts Festival years ago. I always remembered your son and my boxer have the same name. I love it.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm hoping
That's cool.
we were supposed to be in Houston for the spring, and we got pushed to the fall. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean,
If
I'm
they
sure
have it in the fall.
if she's still there, I'm sure she's hip to the thing. But yeah, because everything, all festivals got canceled. Like every spring festival everywhere in the country got canceled. So Houston Bayou Fest happens in March and it happens in October. It's just the October one is downtown. So obviously the Memorial Park one in March got canceled. So they're moving all the artists to the downtown one. So assuming everything is opened back up and it's a go, we will be at the Bayou Fest in October. So I'm hoping that kind of works out. There's it's always, we have a lot of friends out there and people, supporters of the art. So we really, really miss not being there.
Yeah,
it's a
it's
shame when you can't like reconnect with everybody.
yeah, it's so much fun. That's one thing about festivals that are fun. Like with a gallery show, you work with different galleries and you'll be in different cities and different things, and that's fun and that's great. We don't do that many festivals, so the ones we do, I don't know, we really enjoy and we get to know people. And when you don't get to go visit,
I know, it's like,
it's
what do
not
we
as
do
fun.
with ourselves? I guess make videos all day long.
Yeah, we get on the internet and we bug you guys.
Yes.
That's what we do.
Well, and Chelsea said, I'll be there to see y'all again, for sure next time.
Oh, that's
Please
awesome.
do say hi. Mike said, come to Hot Springs.
Oh
We
man,
would love that.
I love
It's
hot
one of my favorite
springs.
places to visit. And then Stephanie said, come to Luxembourg, which
Mm,
sounds very far away.
that sounds I would okay.
Okay.
You don't twist my
Yeah,
arm.
really. I'm down.
Yeah, I should see about trying to get a speaking gig there, and then
Yeah.
and then we can hang out. That would be good.
That would be awesome.
Let's do that. And at Hot Springs, there are so many incredible artists in Hot Springs. It's ridiculous, and so many nice people. I love the strip, down there, Highway 7. There where it's going into where the forest is right there, and then
Hmm.
is it Central or 7? It's both, isn't it?
Oh,
Central.
I don't remember.
Central Avenue, I think it's 7, Highway
He would
7.
know. I don't
But
remember.
yeah, but it's so great going by the Arlington Hotel there and all that. I don't know, so nice.
Yeah, we need to hit that up again and just go out and visit when things chill out. That would be great.
I'm down.
Oh, Mike said bring your trailer and camp at my place if you want.
Oh, thanks.
We'll
That
be
sounds like
we'll be
fun.
like asking him, how do you fix this leak in the roof?
Yeah,
The whole time.
what is that? The National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation where who was Cousin Eddie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your neighbors
we'll be
will
Cousin
love that.
Eddie.
Yeah, there you go. Yikes.
Well, I guess we could call it for this one, darling.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in and sharing your stories and everything with like the pets and being with us as we deal with Echo and all that. We appreciate it, and yeah.
Thank you guys so much for everything, and I'm not sure what we're gonna be doing next week, but I know we have some big things planned. I don't know when we're gonna be able to do them, but soon, very soon. So we're still working on that kind of fun stuff. But thank you guys so much for being there, for watching us be silly.
Yeah, be sure like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and if you create a pet portrait, share it with us, and we'll share it with the crowd.
Yeah, please. That would be awesome. But bye, guys. We'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Take care.